The reason why I'm starting this right here is because I'm dumbfounded right now, and it's reports from both Fightful Select and Wrestling News Inc. and also scouring Twitter that WWE is a sale is imminent. According to CNBC, WWE is in advanced talks to be sold to Endeavor. A deal could reportedly be announced as soon as tomorrow. Endeavor is the parent company of UFC and was one of the rumored companies to be heavily involved in the conversation. According to a report, I believe it was last week. I believe it was last week with a CNBC article about potential buyers, and I was surprised that Comcast was not in that group, but Endeavor and Liberty Media were two companies that I was surprised to see in the group. But Ari Emanuel is reportedly expected to act as the chief executive of both Endeavor and the new company. And Endeavor president Mark Shapiro will work in the same role at the new company. Dana White will remain as the president of UFC, while Nick Khan will be the CEO of WWE and will serve as the president of the wrestling business. Vince McMahon is reportedly expected to stay on as executive chairman, but Endeavor is slated to own 51% of the new combat sports and entertainment company, while WWE shareholders would get 49%, which means on a technicality, I could be wrong with this logic, but this means that Vince McMahon would not be overwhelming owner of WWE anymore. Endeavor and Ari Emanuel would be the owner of WWE. They would make a joint venture. And UFC and WWE would be under one company. AKA, and this is from the Fightful Select article. I do apologize that I seem very excited, or like I'm hyped up on caffeine almost, but I don't know what to say. This is a day I never thought would come, that WWE is actually being sold, especially considering the fact that Endeavor, who own UFC and I believe bought UFC completely in 2021, they initially worked with outside sources to purchase UFC in, I believe it was 2017, and now UFC and WWE will form a new publicly traded company as a part of the agreement, and I don't know what to say. So I honestly don't know what to say right now, but this report that I'm reading from is from Fightful Select. This is from Fightful Select, and Fightful Select goes back to January 12th. WWE announced that they were engaged in outside advisors. I believe that was I forget. I remember the bank, but I forget what the name of the bank was. To review strategic alternatives in relation to the upcoming media rights negotiations. One strategic alternative is a potential sale of the company, which would happen before the media rights deals for Raw and SmackDown are locked in. This goes back to earlier this week, where Nick Khan said in one of his many media appearances before WrestleMania that as of this weekend, the media rights deals could start being negotiated, and they would give Comcast and Fox the initial opportunity to negotiate, or first dibs to negotiate, because they're currently under Fox and NBC, and they also have a long history with NBC Universal. But I would also like to point out, I said this in previous interviews or previous conversations, that I never wrote off Endeavor as a possibility to I never wrote off Endeavor as a possibility to purchase WWE, especially with outside money coming in. But it doesn't seem like there is outside money coming in. I could be wrong, but based on what I'm seeing from the reports, based on what I'm seeing from the reports, the talk of the imminent sale has been major news since Vince returned in January to reportedly help facilitate a sale. While the numbers involved are not yet public information, it was reported in February that Vince would like $9 billion for WWE, which I thought it was just pretty much set it as high as possible, and then surprise people when you get a lower price. According to the report, a deal could be announced as soon as tomorrow. According to sources close to the situation, furthermore, if the deal goes through, as it is being reported, it is believed WWE and UFC will become one publicly traded company. Honestly, that part right there, that breakdown is from Wrestling Inc. or Wrestling News Inc. No, Wrestling Inc. Sorry. Again, I'm a little caught up and a little, all over the place because, I mean, I've been a fan going on 25 years. WWE was always the standalone company, the company that you never had to worry about. I'm not saying that we have to worry about them now because Endeavor owns them. Because if there's anything that Ari Emanuel has proven as UFC owner, it's that he has no interest in messing with what works. Because Dana White still is UFC president. So Ari Emanuel has no interest in messing with what works. And that's what happens with the WWE. That's what's going to happen with the WWE. But the fact of the matter is, let's go back and start from where I started, or go back to where I started. For those who might not be aware, the reason why I've been so hyped up, so seeming like I've hyped up on caffeine, is because as of a few minutes ago, I found out that WWE may be sold as of tomorrow. So we may wake up tomorrow and WWE may be sold. There is no way, shape, or form that anybody expected this to take place leading into WrestleMania, especially with the fact that WrestleMania Night 2 is now going to be in the shadow of the fact that this could be the last time the WWE runs a WrestleMania. It is seemingly likely that this will be the last time that WWE holds a WrestleMania as an independent company. And now the question is, in my opinion, will we finally see people like Daniel Cormier and other people within MMA who have said that if, when their MMA careers are done, that they would jump ship to WWE, that they would make a career in WWE? Would they then make a career in WWE? Because WWE and UFC are going to be under one company. They're going to be under one company if this deal goes through. And according to Fightful and Wrestling Inc., it seems very likely that this deal is going through. It seems very likely that this deal is going through, and I am dumbfounded right now. I am dumbfounded right now that this is actually something that we're talking about. The day of WrestleMania Night 2, I just did my predictions for WrestleMania Night 2, and the fact of the matter is, I did not expect to then be told that WWE could be sold to Endeavor. I mean, I think everybody's counting their blessings and doing the sign of the cross that the company that bought WWE was not the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund. And now we jump over to also the Wrestling Observer. The Wrestling Observer has a little bit more information, as it says Alex Sherman reported the news Sunday afternoon, hours before the second night of WrestleMania 39. As a part of the agreement, WWE and UFC would merge into one publicly traded company. Endeavor would take 51%, and WWE shareholders would take 49%. According to the outlet's sources, Sherman reported the deal would give WWE an enterprise value of $9.3 billion, with UFC getting an enterprise value of $12.1 billion. So the value that Vince McMahon placed on his company is not too far off. And this is from the initial source, Alex Sherman at CNBC. Vince McMahon's WWE is in advanced talks to be sold to Ari Emanuel's Endeavor Group, the parent company of UFC, according to people familiar with the matter. According to the source, UFC, according to reports, as I mentioned, Monday could be when it's announced. Here we go. Shares of WWE are up more than 33% so far this year, giving the market value of $6.7 billion. The deal will effectively end the WWE's decades-old status as a family-owned business. McMahon's father founded WWE in its original incarnation during the mid-20th century, and McMahon has been is the controlling shareholder in the company. McMahon brought the company from his father in 1982. Since then, the company has grown into a global phenomenon. McMahon retired in July after a string of revelations about, his indiscretions. The elder McMahon is recently locked into a 2-year employment contract, according to security filings. Khan in recent weeks has been making media rounds to discuss potential sale. He told Morgan Brennan of CNBC on Thursday that it's been a robust sale process drawing many interested buyers. WWE brings with it a robust media and live events business, along with decades of intellectual property. The UFC has paid off for Endeavor last year. The MMA League helped Endeavor's sports business make $1.3 billion in revenue. Endeavor's market cap stood at $10.53 billion as of Friday's close. The Endeavor WWE deal values UFC at a little over $12 billion. And before we go, I just want to say again, the breakdown of reports. Yes, if you want more information on the employment contract for Vince, it was reported, I believe, a couple of days ago that happened, that took place. But also, the breakdown for the corporate structure would be Ari Emanuel is expected to act as chief of both UFC Endeavor and the new company, which is UFC and the parent company of UFC and WWE, or the publicly traded company that involves WWE and UFC. Vince will be the executive chairman. Mark Shapiro will work as the Endeavor's president, and will work in the same role for the new company. Dana White will be the president of UFC, while Nick Khan will remain as the CEO of WWE. Which means Ari Emanuel will be the undisputed leader of the new company. Vince may have shares, but Endeavor will be the complete shareholder. Endeavor will be the top shareholder of WWE, of the new publicly traded company, because, well, for lack of a better word, I don't know, Endeavor already owns UFC, and, but it will change things, and, I'm dumbfounded right now. I just gotta say, I am dumbfounded right now. I honestly don't know what to say. I honestly don't know what to say, but what I do know is this is the end of an era. This will be the end of an era, and it is something that we will never forget if this does go through, and it seems like it might. But I'm going to stop talking now because this video will be 25 minutes if that is the case. But in 25 years as a wrestling fan, I never thought I'd see the day when the WWE was not owned by a McMahon. But as of tomorrow, that could be the case. As Ari Emanuel, the owner of Endeavor and the owner of UFC, he may be the owner of the WWE as of tomorrow. I don't know what to say other than enjoy WrestleMania and let's see what happens tomorrow. I'll see you in the next video.